Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Welcome to Grab the Hog and welcome to the first video in our Play Your Own Farm mini-series. Now this was a series I started last year, but because it didn't kind of get going very quickly in terms of views, I didn't think you guys wanted to see it, so I stopped the series. Ever since then, it's got more and more views and it seems to be something I think a lot of people like to have a kind of guide or a follow-through series with. Now this is going to be mainly a follow-through series. I'm going to show you guys 7-day bonds journey from level 54 farming, which we currently are, all the way to 99, maybe even 120, and it will all be done through Play Your Own Farms. Now the reason why I'm doing level 54 farming as opposed to starting with level 1 is because at 54 farming I can raise and breed chinchompers. Now anything before then, in my opinion, is not really worth it. Just because it's a little bit annoying to go and do like all the lower level stuff. You're not really going to get a lot of beans. You're not really going to make a lot of progress. Whereas if you sort of focus on 54 farming, then you've got a decent sort of place to start. So what I did for farming was mainly do the Violet is Blue quest. So Violet is Blue and Violet is Blue 2. They give some really good lamps, which to be fair at lower level, farming is quite rough to get started. So I threw it on there to go and get it started. Now, beforehand, I'm pretty sure it was like level 17 when you unlock Manor Farm is the level you need for beehives, but you can now get beehives or at least for honey from beehives from level 1. So I don't know if they've changed the requirements for it, but beehives are going to be your best friend in terms of getting those early farming levels. If you wanted some other methods to do it, I would recommend just doing things like herb runs or tree runs just to get to level 54. Now, what we're going to focus on, at least for this first episode, is going to be the small pen animals. So in Play Your Own Farms, you have 4 different types of pen. You have the small pen, which you can grow rabbits, chickens, and chinchompers. You have the medium pens, which can grow sheep, spiders, and mushrooms. And then finally, you have the large pens, which can then grow cows, yaks, and dragons. Now, the 4th pen is the breeding pen, and this is where you can breed 2 animals of the same base together to go and basically create brand new animals. Now, in terms of this video, we're going to focus on the small pen and also the breeding pen because you can use the breeding pen to grow animals if you want beans. And you might ask what beans are. So beans are the currency at Play Your Own Farms, and you get these from selling your animals to the traders. So as you can see here, we have some traders for this, and to pick out which traders you want, you can go to the advertisement board and just basically select which ones you're after. So for this case, we are looking for chinchompers, and we have Miliki Tapio, who's going to buy our chinchompers from us. Now, when we sell the chinchompers to those collectors, they're going to give us beans, which we can then use in Granny Potterington's market to buy upgrades for the farm. So the reason why I do this 54 is that all the sort of animals beforehand don't give you a lot of beans. So there's no point really to progress your farm. As chinchompers are the first sort of animal I think you can get where your beans are a little bit marked up and you're going to get a lot more. So we want to go and get the extra medium pens. We want to go and get the large pens. We want to get a bank chest. There's a lot of things you want to sort of save beans up for to upgrade your Play Your Own Farm to basically make more beans in the long run. The more pens you have, the more animals you can grow, the more beans you can earn over time as well. So that, for at least the first chunk of our Play Your Own Farm journey, is what we're going to target on: farming XP and beans. So currently we only have the small pen, the other small pen which we unlocked from the beans from the tutorial, and also the breeding pen. So rather than breed more chinchompers, I'm just going to use it to throw 4 to grow in and then grow them, harvest, and sell. Now, in terms of the animals, you have some different phases. They can grow to adolescents, adult, and elder. Now, adolescents do actually sell for more beans. So if you're completely bean focused, those are the best sort of form to sell them in. However, because I'm sort of trying to train my farming level as well, I'm going to take the hit on beans slightly and go and get a little bit of farm XP by selling them in elder. Now, for every type of animal, you're going to need to have some food to fill in the trough for them to eat. If your trough is full and you put your animals in, they will pretty much go to full form. If your food runs out, then they have the ability to get disease, and then that stops their growth, but also it stops their happiness and their health. Now, if you are not 100% happiness and health, you won't get the full XP for it. So what you can do to find out what your animal eats, if you literally just go on to your animal, for this chinchomper, it eats anything. So for certain monsters or certain animals we're going to grow, it will specify what they eat. For example, something like a dragon will only eat meat and fish. It won't eat anything else. So for these ones, chinchompers especially, those which eat everything, I always use woad leaves because woad leaves are very, very cheap. You can buy them in infinite supply from Winton the Gardener. So that is really, really nice. Now that is pretty much the basics of Play Your Own Farm. Now what I would suggest to anyone who's looking to do Play Your Own Farms, to fully understand the mechanics behind it and every little thing, the tutorial is very good. and go and speak to Granny Potterington at level 17 farming, and you can have the ability to do the full walkthrough in the tutorial where it talks through like everything you need to do for it. So I've been a little rushed through that, but I'm hoping I've covered more than enough of it. I think we've focused on the big details anyway. Now, as our farming level increases and we get access to better, medium and large pen creatures, we'll sort of do another video of that talking through what the next stage is. But for at least this episode, we're going to focus on the chinchompers, which are going to be in our small pens. Now, whenever you go to harvest some of your animals for XP and rewards, you're going to get a form of harvest in terms of material. So because we've grown carnivorous chinchompers, we'll get chinchompers as a reward from here. Now, one item which is really good to get the absolute maximum in terms of your farming XP from player-owned farms is urns. Use the best farming urn you have available. Because my crafting is a little bit low, I can only use a strong farming urn. You can't buy the top tier unless you have the crafting level to put the urn into it. So even though like I'm level 62, I can't do the highest tier because you need 84 crafting to make those urns and also charge those on urns as well. Now, in terms of harvesting the chinchompers, really easy. All you do is go here and then you go to gather produce. Now, this is going to give you an XP drop as well as fill in some urns, and you're also going to get some materials as a reward as well. So for doing this one elder chinchomper, we have received 30 red chinchompers. We have also received some chinchomper residue as well as fill 3 urns. With that 15,000 XP, it's a pretty decent XP drop to be fair, and really beneficial. Now, if you're someone like me who hasn't used urns before, you can have it so it auto sends your urns off. All you simply need to do is put urns into the search bar and click this button here. In the interfaces and inventory, it auto teleports current skilling urns and accumulators when full, which is really nice. So literally for this full patch, in a small pen, you can do a maximum of 6 animals. So from this one pen, I'm going to get 75,000 XP at level 54 farming. It's just so good and so worthwhile doing. Now, as you can see here with August, so August happiness is only 26%. So this is going to affect the XP we're going to get from her. And this is going to affect the XP we're going to get from it. And the reason why is because it's got the trait of sullen. Basically, sullen means that they're going to be miserable, and because of that, their happiness is reduced, which does mean you do get less XP. It's one of those where it kind of is what it is, and you just sort of get by with it. So one of the rewards you can unlock, and it's something I kind of prioritize quite high compared to the others, is the ability to note your produce. Because you're going to get so much in terms of rewards, having noted produce just makes it really easy. I'm actually going to buy a bank chest though, because I think that's a nice one as well to have, because I can just throw items in and run around while I'm here. So for 300 beans, that's quite a nice one, because we want to make sure that we can harvest all the chinchompers. And to do that, we're going to have to have some bank space and some room in inventory. So because this one was sullen and had a trait I had nothing I could really do with, I got half the XP from it, which is a little rough, but you know, it is what it is. Now, as you do this, you will earn sort of points towards your rank in terms of farming. I've already achieved the apprentice farmer, and from that one patch, we achieved 5 farming levels as well, which is crazy. When you have a lot of your player-owned farm patches sorted, the amount of XP you can get in one go really is crazy. And we've also just got the farming pet, which, wow. Yeah, weren't expecting that. So we've got our first pets on the account in a talk through video. 254k for the farming pet is quite crazy. So yeah, I suppose you guys can always remember this video. I'll always remember this video because it's the first pet on Grab the Hog. And this is why we do things here. Now, you've just missed this one here. So this one also was slightly less XP because it had the young at heart trait, which basically means if it was an elder, it ranks itself as an adult, which is going to give you less XP. Now, I did mention that an adolescent will give you more beans, but what it will also do is give you less XP. At least with an elder, you are going to get the better XP because the animal is more grown. So, as you can see here, this is pretty much the good bit of player-owned farms. Once the animals have all sorts of grown, you literally just click gather produce and remove, and you just harvest the XP and beans from there. So, we'll just keep running back and forward. There is another farming level, like 62 farming. We are flying in terms of this. And this is why player-owned farms is so good for your farming XP, because just see what I've got. Like the farming urns as well coming in really clutch, because that's going to give us like an extra chunk of XP as well. Definitely worth buying. And as you can see there, we've just sold some of that. And in terms of your currency pouch, you can put your beans there as well. We're at 2.1k beans, which is actually really nice. We can go in and invest in some of Granny's stuff on the market once we've done the final breeding pen as well, and then we can talk through what we're going to do afterwards. Now, all of your collectors have a cap, which we've just hit with our collector, so they will buy 12 small chinchompers every sort of 3 days, and we've gone past that, so these 4 are going to have to sit in a bank for a little bit. Now, this one, because it's got the sickly trait, it is disease. So we're going to go and cure the disease. And basically what this is just a process of working out like what is wrong with it. So for this one, because it couldn't speak the language, it's a curse, and then the animal is cured. Now, because this is sickly, we can kind of leave Timmy to sort of like go and get its HP back, because that kind of health is not really worth it. And we're not in a rush to sell it either. So this one is virile, which is a higher chance of breeding, but it's also disease because we had the other one, which was disease as well. So let's go and try the foot in mouth. I think that one is. No, then it's just going to be the curse. There we go. We finally got there. It took a little bit longer. So that is pretty much my first player-owned farm run. So from that, we have got a total of 8 farming levels. Crazy how much that went. And we've got things like the branch of Darkmere, yew and papaya trees, loads of herbs, which is really nice. But this shows you guys how much you can get in terms of this. Now, what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and unlock some of the other pens. So the next episode we're going to do is me going to harvest all of my chinchompers again. But then also we're going to focus on the medium pens as well, which should hopefully be a nice different thing for you guys to see. So once you've got enough beans, you can simply just go to Granny. We're going to go and buy the deeds to the medium pen. And then once we've got the medium pen, we can also then go and buy this one, the large pen. And then we can look at doing different things for that as well. So what I'm going to do is just go and get the chinchompers set up for the next video. So I've bought some more chinchompers. I slow buy them on the Grand Exchange because they're kind of a niche item and buy slowly over time. So I've got 14 here. Now I've put 1,000 of each woad leaves in the trough. So this should last me a little while to say the least. And literally all you need to do is buy them on the Grand Exchange. Just check them and simply add them in. And then you kind of just leave them to grow. So very similar to trees. We've already done our payment because we've already put the food in the trough. We put all the animals in and then we just leave and return. Normally, I do like a day and a half. I just check after a day to see what growing stage they are. Because sometimes, depending on what tick you've done it or what sort of farming cycle you've done it, sometimes they'll be ready quicker. But sometimes you'll have to wait a little bit longer. This has actually worked out quite perfect with those two being sickly, because we've now done both of those 6 each. So we've done 12 total there, and we'll just do 2 more in the breeding pen. The breeding pen, no matter what size of animal it is, you are maxed to a total of only 4 animals, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. However, that is going to be episode 1 of our player-owned farm journey. I think you guys can agree that was a massive success in terms of just the beans we've got, the XP we've got, and then also with the brains pet, which we've managed to look at 200k XP. Again, I would highly suggest starting this at level 54 because the kind of beans you've got from the chinchompers are just going to be so much better than those which you're going to get from these sort of animals below. Next episode, we'll focus on harvesting the chinchompers again, as well as starting the medium pen. And then the episode after that, we'll go and focus on the large pens afterwards as well. But I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know the things you want to see in this kind of video. You want me to include the Ranch Beyond Time to all the dinosaur stuff as well. I'm more than happy to do it. This is how I'm going to train to level 99, 120 farming. And whatever you guys want to see, I'll make sure to do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.